3D. What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Video Homicide, and I'm back with a Saturday night special. Wanted to pop on here, shoot the shit for a little bit. And I've got a lot of comic making schemes up my sleeve that I kind of want to touch on. But first and foremost, hope everyone's having a fantastic weekend. Saturday night. No work tomorrow, which is great. It's actually Father's Day tomorrow, so I'm gonna stop past the old man's and bring him a coffee, and see what's going on over there. But I don't know if you guys fuck with me on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, but I made it the thumbnail of this video. It's this drawing that I did yesterday of little Ricky sitting in like his little art studio, drawing away, watching Fritz the cat, which I'm obsessed with that drawing. I got it right here, actually, black and white. Yeah, I absolutely love this in black and white. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just leave it like that. And I scanned it, and then I got curious, so I fucking put it into Adobe Illustrator, and I gave it the old color treatment. Even though I've been saying, I don't want to keep leaning on color or digital color, but the fact is, I love the way it looks, and there's no denying that. Like, I got 2 framed prints that I did there that are like it's a draw. Like, the drawing is real. There's an actual physical drawing, but the colorization of it is just, like I've said before, I like the super saturated Simpsons look. You know what I mean? Where everything is like, if it's supposed to be blue, then boom, it's blue. There's no gradients or anything like that. But one thing that I can sort of segue into that is I've been working on the heavy metal sort of Mad Max comic. That's still cranking along. And I've also started the early stages of development for this comic based on a character that me and my brother actually created in 2012 called Afro Death. And he was the protagonist or maybe to some an antagonist in a bunch of short films that I made over the years. And I've never really put him in a comic. And now I'm like thinking, fuck, I have like these characters from the shorts that are just sort of prime for comic stuff. It's something I've never really I never really thought to make an Afro Death comic, and now I'm like thinking, why the fuck haven't I done that yet? So, and I've got enough films and shit and unused scripts and shit that I've got that I could easily, it's already shot. Like, there was already motherfucking storyboards for these, so I can just look at the storyboards because I have them, and just polish them up and make a comic. So that's definitely in the pipeline. And the thing that sort of prompted that was when I was doing this drawing, I was like, okay, I need to do these posters. And I was like, I only want to use my own characters in this, other than Frankenstein's monster and fucking Fritz the cat down there, and it says EPMD on that sticker, and there's like a Wu, you can tell that's like a Wu-Tang sticker, and then there's like a Wu-Tang poster there, but everything else is just sort of out of my noggin, minus the Godzilla character as well. But I'm just really stoked with how this turned out. Like, it's something, for the longest time I've been wanting to sort of hone in and practice on doing like backgrounds and trying to make it look like it makes sense, because that's the fucking hardest thing to do with this shit, man. You might be able to draw like a motherfucker. You could draw a sick skull, or you could draw like a sick demon or something like that, or a fucking My Little Pony. But if you can't put them into a background, then all you really have is just like a t-shirt designer, like a t-shirt graphic. You know what I'm saying? So really trying to do this type of stuff. And I'd love to do a comic that's entirely like this, like one page is one panel, and just sort of tell a story like that. Like, initially, like this is supposed to be like my wife like comes in here and she like cracks the door. She's like, what are you up to? And I like, this is like the look that she gets. You know, because in the rough drawing, I don't know where the fuck it is at this moment. I do, but it's far away. In the rough drawing, there's like he's smoking a joint, but I was like, I don't really want to. Goofy Fuzz in the house, what's going on, dude? Guess who's here? Afro Goof. Yeah. Yeah, I already messaged my brother earlier, and because I showed him that drawing, and I was like, "What do you think of that?" And I told him, "Hey, I want to make an Afro Death comic because like he's Afro Death, um, not really an Afro right now, but he only really had an Afro in the first one, which was like 2012. Everything else is like short fucking hair. So I think, but yeah, there's that. Like the first one of the short films that I want to adapt into a comic is definitely Afro Death. But there's the one story called The Purple Demon, which I think would make for a really good sort of, you know, first graphic novel. I think I would rename it. Uh, I think I'd rename it from The Purple Demon to Purple Demons, you know, because it's supposed to be like a gang or like a set. A nice cannon rolled here. Um, yeah, you know, I got a few different ideas on how I could, you know, take the short film and just, you know, turn it into something way fucking better. Because that was the thing. Like I was sort of limited to what I could do. Like I had no money behind those films, so I got no money behind these comics. But at the same time, it's like it's fun, you know. Like I fucking just drew this. Like this is like a timesheet from work for like a bunch of like shit. But I like drew this on the side, like a little Ricky character, you know, like constantly trying to like draw these fucking characters to. I don't they don't always have to be like Simpson style, like always exactly the same, but you know, I want you to be able to look at them right away and be like, okay, that's Filthy Ralph. Okay, that's Little Ricky. That's Chico. Chico is a character that I want to pay more attention to uh, in upcoming comics as well, because he's a character that I really dig. That's the thing. Like, I love all my fucking characters, but again, us as like people that make comics and shit, we know the lore, we know the backstories and stuff. It's, you know, it's our job as storytellers to get that out of your fucking head and onto a page. And that's the tricky part, you know. That's where people give up, you know. Like you hear a lot of talk, there's a lot of videos on YouTube how to make a comic, this and that. And it's always like people always say just finish it. Try to finish it. It's like no, don't try, do. Finish the fucking thing. Because that's the only way you're going to get better. If you just start a comic and like, you know, you're super stoked on Superman or whatever the fuck, Marvel or some shit, rip off a fucking comic or whatever, rip off some ideas, but make it and finish it, you know, until you can make your own completely from, you know, cover to cover, your own right, your story, your art, all that shit, your lettering, do everything. That's the thing I recommend people do. Like if you want to make a comic, that's the same with these Facebook fucking groups, man. It's like these comic book Facebook groups. And it's like, "Oh, I don't know how to write a story. I don't know how to draw, but I want to make a comic." It's like, "Well, just you're going to have to fucking make some shit before you make something that's not shit." I made like this is the comic I'm working on right now, the sort of heavy metal Mad Max shit. That's comic 11, you know, and then the Afro Death will make 12. And I have this sort of like Dawn of the Dead spoof in my head that I'm toying around with, but you know, once I get some shit in my head, like especially the whole fucking you know, like this wet, like not Western, a Western comic is on deck called Rotten Revolver, but the heavy metal one, sort like that's got to be it, and then after that, it'll be Afro Death. Another thing I want to do, I'm glad I left this fucking shit out. I want to like take these 3 mini comics I did, the High as a Fly, Pawn Shop Funnies, and fuck's the other one? Out on Parole. I want to take these comics and I want to like bind them like a hardback edition, like just like one, unless it's super fucking easy to do, then I'll make some and I'll maybe do a giveaway or something. But I definitely want to try that and just see how it looks, see how it feels as a you know as a hardback edition of these little comics. It's cool. There's so many goddamn videos on YouTube about how to make hardback editions or your own book binding and stuff. So that's the good thing about YouTube is like you could learn about anything, especially when it comes to art. Like there's a video on like every fucking type of art supply you could think of, which is great. My art store, my local art store, BJ's, yeah, they're actually having like a 30-year anniversary sale this weekend. It's running, and I missed it. Like they're gonna, I guess they're closed on Sundays for the rest of summer, which is a bummer. But they'll be open on Monday with the sale still happening. So I'll probably check it out. I think the sale is just like there's no tax on everything, which is pretty decent. If you buy like a decent amount of shit, if you spend like $50, then you're paying $50. Excuse me. I just want to pull something up here fast. One thing that I sort of fell down the rabbit hole on, there's a YouTube channel called CZ's World, so CZS World, and he makes these videos where it's like the history of like these horror characters. Like he's done a bunch of people from Insidious, from The Conjuring, Freddy Krueger. He's done some fuckers from Saw, it looks like, and different things like that. But he did Pennywise, the dancing clown. So I watched the Pennywise one from the 90s miniseries, and I watched the video he made on the more recent Pennywise movies. And I guess there's supposed to be a show coming out eventually, so we'll see what happens with that. But I like these videos where they sort of go in depth on these characters, and you get to really, it's good background noise. You know what I mean? Like I was listening to some of this shit when I was coloring the little Ricky one pager there. Good time. Good time. That's the thing. Like you're sort of always looking for background fodder that, to listen to in the background. Like I could easily throw in a film, but picking a film off the wall is a goddamn nightmare. Like, anyone that has, any amount of movies or books or anything like that, like it's a nightmare to pick one. Like I'm having trouble picking a new book to read off the shelf because I just finished Red Room and I'm like, fuck, I want to read something, but what? I thought about just going like across, like, just everyone that I haven't read. Like, so like next up technically would be Afro Samurai. And I've been thinking about just tossing it in the car just so it's there. And, the thing is with books like that, I know there's a lot of sort of splash pagey stuff happening in there. So I know that, it wouldn't be like a long read, and like I've been meaning to just sort of like spend a few hours in here and just like fucking, like I said, get baked and read some comics. But that's easier said than done because it's like, what do you read? Like right now, okay, I'm like, oh, I could read Afro Samurai, yeah, sure. But then I get on the shelf and I'm like, fuck, I don't really want to read this right now. I want to look at some old EC. I was flipping through some EC comics the other night, and Jesus Christ, they're so fucking good. It's like the goddamn golden standard of comics, especially when it comes like short stories, great art, and just all packaged together with what a few stories you get. And like I said, the art is just great. Like there's everybody in there from Al Feldstein to fucking Ghastly Graham Ingalls. Who else? Jack Davis, my favorite. Wally Wood, or Wallace Wood, as he liked to be known. Like there's so many good comics like under the EC umbrella that you could pretty much pick up anything. Like it doesn't have to be the horror films or the horror comics. You could pick up, the crime ones or any of that bullshit, and just have a good old time. One thing I wanted to talk about is uh, movie reviews, movie recommendations. Uh, I've been meaning to make some more, but it's just fucking. I like to usually watch the film and then make the video. Sometimes I don't, like if it's a favorite or if I just know the movie off by heart, I'll fucking record the review like whenever. But um, I have a lot of movies to watch on the shelf here, and I want to make reviews on them. But again, uh, it's just all about picking what movie. It's all about, where are you gonna invest the time into? Because I've been meaning to rewatch the John Woo films. I've been meaning to rewatch a bunch of shit, and it's hard because I could technically like probably do a movie a night during the week if I'm like super lucky. Maybe three a week is more practical, but again, I don't like to force myself to make a review, because there's times where I watch movies, I watch shows and shit, and I'm like, I can make a review on this, and then I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. Like I think that sort of happened to me with the Penguin show and that show The Bear, and there's a bunch of these fucking good shows that come out, but I'm like, fuck, I don't really want to. I like the show. I'll just leave it at that, because I could sit here and fucking complain about everything I hate about The Bear, which is pretty much just one character. But again, I would like to come on here and just like be like, this sucks. This is bullshit. I'll leave that for the angry video game nerd and all that bullshit. Dude, uh this is totally fucking random, and this is totally like uh YouTube comic book community shit. There's this YouTuber that was making videos called Sticky Goose, and he was just making videos about comic shops and different types of collectors, different types of comic shop owners, this, that, and the next thing. Got himself involved in a bunch of YouTube drama, and ended up quitting making videos. And I was like, all right, well, that's it for that guy. So I unsubscribed from him because I was subscribed to the fucker. And randomly, like on my YouTube homepage, like this motherfucker, a video of his popped up, and it was like new. I was like, what the fuck? And turns out he's been making videos for like the last couple, like 3-4 months or some shit. I'm like, fuck. So I sort of perused through his videos. It's the same old bullshit. Like the guy, like it's just bullshit, just, you know, bitching, but it's sometimes funny enough to keep me coming, you know. I like when motherfuckers can stir up a little, like all in the name of, see what happens. We're live. We're back. And we're back. Are we live? Are we good? It says we're good. Let me just take a gander. Take a gander. All right. All right. Looks like I'm back. Crisis fucking averted. It's a pain in the ass. That's the thing. Like, look, I was using that stream Melon app for so fucking long, and now I went on there tonight, and it's like, no, you got to pay your 30-day trials. Oh, and it's done that before, and then I just wait a while, and then all of a sudden it's re back for free. I've paid for it a few times, but more than a few times actually. I fucking paid for it for like a whole year once, and I barely streamed. I did maybe a few a month or whatever, and it's like, yeah, I'm not really worth $9 just to fucking you know have the ability to put a graphic on the fucking screen. Like that's one thing with this. I guess you can share screen on YouTube here, but I don't know. I wouldn't even really fucking try to mess around. I know a lot of people use that Streamlab or Stream Duck, whatever the fuck. I don't know what it's called, but I know there's that little duck. There's a video that I just watched, an interview with Ed Piskor by Comic Tropes, who's a character on YouTube that I've just sort of recently found through this. But it looks like he's done a lot of videos, and there's sort of a finite supply of video interviews of Ed Piskor. Like, I mean, there's all the kayfabe stuff, but sort of cool to like see him being interviewed at different junctures in his career. If that makes sense. I'm just going on my computer to make sure that we're actually fucking. Okay, seems good. Seems good. All right, let me out of here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna boom. Okay, what's going on here? There we go. Anyways, sorry about all the fucking technical brouhaha. It happens. Another thing that happens is uh, you fucking get gifted a bunch of this shit. This is like some type of hash. Shout out to Paul and Cash. This is where this came from. This is like I've never bought this kind of shit before personally. I've smoked it, but like this is I don't even know what you consider that. And then this other shit. This is more up Goofy Fuzz alley. This is Tiger, CK, and KK Mints Shatter. And this one's like in some I don't know, I guess like wax paper. And like this is shatter shit. This is the shit like when I think of shatter, it's what it is. It's like a bunch of little fucking, you know, pieces that you could easily fucking drop and go into the ground and you're never gonna find it. Or if you do find it, it's gonna end up looking like a lollipop from fucking Ed, Ed and Eddie, or one of those jawbreakers from Ed, Ed and Eddie. I don't know if you guys ever seen that show, but uh me and my wife were talking. We were like talking about old shows from like when we were kids and stuff. And I was trying to think of like what were some of the cartoons that I actually watched because I like I said before, I feel like I went from like you know the Simpsons were always around, but like I feel like I went from the Simpsons to South Park to Chappelle, like Chappelle Show. There was like kids shows were just not really a thing. But then I like look back and I'm like, wait a minute, no, there was good shows like Ed and Eddie, Dexter's Laboratory, um, the Ren and Stimpy, obviously, and King of the Hill. King of the Hill's fucking making a comeback. Like, are you kidding me? Like, fuck, man, I'm gonna watch it. Like, me and my friend Goofy, who's in the chats from time to time, we've watched King of the Hill on mushrooms so many times. So it's one of the perfect mushroom shows because like it's cartoon, but it's also being serious. So you're sort of like, fuck, what's going on here? Is this serious or is this fucking phony? But you know, I don't want to tell anybody to take mushrooms, but if you're gonna eat mushrooms, dude, please watch heavy metal. Please watch it. It will fucking it'll rock your world, man. It's one of the best experiences ever. But um Comic Crack, happy joy, happy joy. King of the Hill was a favorite. My fucking wife bought me all of the Ren and Stimpy seasons on DVD a few years ago. I've only watched the first season or the first package of discs. The rest of them are still actually sealed. But no, King of the Hill, dude. Fuck, John Redcorn just bit the dust. Someone fucking killed his ass like in his home or like out front of his home. Come on, dude. That's fucked. That's absolutely fucked. And John Redcorn was always a fucking favorite character of mine. And this is no shit. When I was a kid, I had a switchblade. It wasn't really like a switchblade that you'd fucking, like my knife that I carry like now is a switchblade. But I mean, it was like sort of one of those knives that was you could like go like that and it would open. And we called it John Redcorn. It was fucking huge. I had no business walking around with a knife like that, but well, I did. But I thank the creator. I never had to fucking ever do anything wild, dude. Because I got fucking friends that are just fucked. Their life situation's fucked now at this point. Drugs, crime, all that shit, dude. Ever see Squidbillies? The name sort of it rings a bell. But yeah, fuck. Other than like Ed, Ed and Eddie, there was I don't know if I already mentioned that show Mega Babies, but that was sort of a gross out show. There was a show called Ripping Friends. It was made by the fucking John Krzyzewski or whatever the fuck, the guy that made Ren and Stimpy. There's a crazy documentary about him or about like Spumco, and like I didn't know that he was like dinking around with like a 17-year-old and all this shit, or maybe she was younger, who the fuck knows? I don't know, dude. I'll never get that. You know what I mean? I'll never understand that. So it's like, why would you throw that all away? Like for like some, like for a piece of ass, that's not even fucking like, I don't know. Some fucks like I'm young. End up having fucking Chris Hansen walking through the door. Have a seat. You came here for sex. I'm a big mark for those Chris fucking Hansen videos back in the day. Like when he'd walk in and Buddy would be sitting there and he'd like the guy's like washing his hands. He's like, here's some paper towel. Now you said you were gonna bring alcohol and condoms for sex. Oh man. It's a good thing he was doing. There's new videos now where like these fucks will go out and catch these guys and then like kick the shit out of them. It's insane. It's insane. Goofy Fa is back. Goofy Fa, I just mentioned you and I forget what I was talking about. Franco chucked his career over some 17-year-old trim. Couldn't just wait a bit. Yeah, are you talking about James Franco, the fucking Green Goblin, the Hobgoblin? I gotta admit that James Franco, he hasn't been in a lot of shit that I really give a fuck about. I like Pineapple Express. Came out when I was a teenager. I was in high school and all that. It was one of those kinds of movies. But when I'm like, fuck, what did I like that had Franco in it? Well, I like those Spider-Man movies my brother really watched those a lot when I was a kid. I'm 6 years older than him, so he's born in like '98. So all that Spider-Man comes out when he's like a really young kid, but like that's all he wanted to watch. So like that's all that was ever really playing in the living room. So I'd go in my room. I didn't have cable in there, but I had PS2 and I had fucking, I had a little bit of a DVD collection. My stepdad had some DVDs that, he he basically was only getting like karate films and just a lot of karate films and a lot of like random action films. That's where I sort of like, how there's like a million of these fucking action films out there. Uh, but and then all this like this is what I should have said. Every once in a while, I come across like an action star, and then all of a sudden you realize there's like he's been in as many movies as say Van Damme or whoever. I love Seagal. People can talk shit about Seagal all they want, but we watched Marked for Death a million times. We watched Out for Justice, Above the Law, even the fucking movie where he's on a boat. I'm blanking on the name right now. Under Siege. He was like a chef on a boat. James Goofo. Heard he was goofing kids. That's what they're saying. Yeah, he was a goofer. Seth Rogen was like cut ties with him. Seth Rogen. Franco produced this movie called Goat about frat hazing. He plays a minor role. He was good in that True Mountain Climbing movie too. Oh, I remember that True Mountain Climbing movie. Yeah, whatever the fuck it was called. No, Seth Rogen is another one that like what? How many movies has he been in that are actually good? His best performance in any film, as far as I'm concerned, is when he's the cop in Superbad. You know, I remember that one movie that came out, Knocked Up. Knocked Up is sort of like it's in that realm, but I don't know. It just doesn't really do it for me. There's some parts in that movie that I think are fucking hilarious, like when they eat mushrooms at Cirque du Soleil and they go back to the or they go back to the hotel and they're tripping balls or whatever. But yeah, I think they're tripping balls watching Cheaper by the Dozen, and Seth Rogen's like, this is a fucking nightmare. Like he's 12 kids or some shit. Like, but yeah, Seth Rogen, like I said, Pineapple Express, I fuck with super bad. Uh, that's pretty much it, dude, for me. That movie called This Is the End is pretty good. I gotta say I like that one a lot too. I'm more of a Jonah Hill fan than a Seth Rogen fan because Jonah Hill came out and made that movie mid '90s that I really fucking liked. That was a good one. Often called the Diet Coke of kids, the Larry Clark film, which I think is a fun way to put it. But like that movie to like mid '90s is such like you know like believable situation, you know what I mean? Like the mom and the fucking brother that's a cocksucker and all that. And like that scene to me, like the tensest scene in that fucking movie, or like the one of the best scenes is when the main kid, his older abusive brother, sort of gets in an altercation with one of his skateboarder buddies, and just I love that. I love that moment, and I love like sort of the aftermath of it when they're sitting on the couch playing Nintendo, and he's like, all the older brother is like, all your friends are pussies or whatever, and he's like, I would have kicked their asses, but I was alone or whatever the fuck, and I don't know. I had a lot of fun with that movie, man. I think Jonah Hill's made another film since, or maybe not. I don't know. I heard Jonah Hill was a fucking cocksucker himself in some degree. But that's the thing, like you never know. Like who the like, people just believe everything immediately. Like I could be like, hey, like spaghetti sauce is bullshit, and then everyone's like, fuck, spaghetti sauce is bullshit. You know, and it's like, dude, no, spaghetti sauce is fucking phenomenal. Heard he was on drugs hard. Well, fuck, he might like that guy. There was that one point where he was like in a movie and he'd be like mad skinny, and then he'd be in the next film he's like fat again. And it's like, what the fuck's going on? They must have like filmed at different times, or who knows, dude? Because like in 22 Jump Street, he's like skinny. I would say he's like skinny. He's a skinny dude. He's not like a big dude. He's not like in that movie Accepted with Justin Long, like when he's doing "Ask Me About My Wiener." Like that dude was big, dude. He was a big dude. It's crazy. These motherfuckers, they gotta turn to dope. They gotta turn to dope. Like they obviously haven't gotten good enough weed. Because if they were getting good enough weed, you don't need anything higher than weed. You know, I've said that. And like Goofy felt like I was just telling. I don't know if you were here when I showed this, but uh, I got this gifted to me. For me and Kayla's fucking friends, Kasha and Paul. They watch the show sometimes. So, and this other chat, I don't know what the fuck this one is, but this one is Tiger CK KK Mince Shatter 1 gram. So it looks like they tried it. Like it doesn't look like I don't know how much that shit weighs, but it looks like it's been tried, which is fine. Me and Kayla were like, oh yeah, let's smoke some of that tonight. And then we're like sitting there, we smoke a joint. Oh my god. You know what fucking happened tonight? I was cooking steak for us, and I basically dropped the fucking pan over the sink by mistake, and I fucking ruined the dinner with broken glass. So I had like this mashed potatoes, gravy, I had like a bunch of like all the garnish was like ready to go. I was like, fuck. I was pissed. My wife's like, it's like, it's all right, whatever, it sucks, but like, what are we gonna do? I was like, dude, we gotta fucking, or I didn't call her dude, but I was like, babe, we got, like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to go get us some chicken or something. So I went to Popeyes, which is just like a fucking 2-minute drive up the street. And the only bitch part is there's no fucking, like, there's no drive through. You gotta go in. So you're like standing there like a fucking predator, you know what I mean? Because like the thing is, like, when I was sitting in there, like this like group of like young girls came in, and I was like, for fuck's sakes, like I fucking just like hate the youth. And then I was sitting on the seat and they sat right behind me. And then the fucking dad comes in, and he's got like a baby, and he hands it to the one kid. And then the kid's like, this is my half sister. And he's like, don't say that. And she's like, well, it is. She's not my real, like, to a little baby is saying this. I was like, holy fuck. But I go up, I get the chicken. So the broad hands me the bag of chicken. And when I fucking grab it, the goddamn bag rips and hits the floor of Popeyes. Fuck. So that's how my night was going, you know. But we got home safe, and we fucking ate Popeye's chicken with like stuff that was supposed to go with a nice steak. Fuck. And like as I'm like looking at this sink full of glass and steak, my wife's like, can it be salvaged? And I was like, no, it can't be. Fuck, I need a drink. I'm parched. Heard he was on drugs bad. Jonah Hill got bad rolled in some bad part of town after sundown. There was a phone vid. Poor guy. Yeah, poor. What was the video of? Like, what did he do? Did he say something crazy? Something crazy as fuck? Just eat glass. Fuck. Oh, there was glass everywhere, man. I fucking cleaned it up, but like now I'm like fucking gonna be paranoid for weeks, and I'm gonna step on a piece of glass and it's gonna work its way into my fucking eye socket. Jesus Christ. Goofy Fun, did you like this fucking you like this drawing, eh? Little Ricky. I was gonna like make a fucking door. Make like put like a piece of paper over top of it and like draw a door, but like cut it so you can open it. And when you open it, it's like It's like, he's getting caught like drawing. He's not drawing titties in this, but like he's got caught drawing a fucking naked broad or something. You know. Honestly, the hardest part about this fucking about this drawing was the floor. I'm like, what am I gonna put on the floor because it was so bare. But the magazine and the cigarettes and like I think the thing that really saves it is this broken pencil. You know, because if you look at the color version, uh, I think it looks pretty sweet. He was just yelping, "Help! Help! I'm Jonah Hill. I'm being robbed." And they're just goofing on him. They're like, hey, fuck you!" And he's like, "Ah, I'm Jonah Hill. I'm fucking Seth from Superbad." I got pop out back in the cooler. I could actually go grab a pop, get some ice and pop. You guys are gonna have to fucking 666 for a second because I gotta get a drink because I'm parched. There. I explained myself in the comments. BRB, piss, and drink. I'm gonna do that. Fuck, man. All right. Sorry about the fucking wait. All right, but I had to piss. I had to get a cup full of ice. Had to go back, grab a fucking can of pop. Like, look at this is how fucked I am these days. I can't just drink straight up Pepsi, dude. It's too sweet. So I like water it the fuck down. It's like half cup of water. Top it up with pop and then just keep topping her up. Because yeah. It's a sweet drink from my belly. Oh yeah. What the fuck's going on, dude? 666. Who's in the chat? We're back. We're back for more. Back for more fucking bullshit. Let's crack this bitch. Oh yeah. Any fans of the film 2012 in the house? The movie 2012. All right, with John Cusack. Who's seen it? Who loves it as much as me? I'm obsessed. Every time that fucking movie's on, if it's available to be watched, you're goddamn right I'm watching it. Wow. Just Woody Harrelson. He's got the most out of control character. He's Charlie. He's got like a fucking fridge full of pickles and like 2 beers. You heard it first from Charlie. Love that fucking part, dude. But I love John Cusack when he's fucking running away from impending doom of this fiery fucking inferno from this Yellowstone Park just exploding. He ends up getting on the boat, map of China, and he pulls off the line from Jaws. We're gonna need a bigger plane. Love that shit. Love Jaws. Jaws just celebrated its 50th fucking anniversary. That's fantastic. Still one of the best movies. I think the second half of the film is the best part of the film. Like, definitely. Obviously there's moments that are in the first half that are, Chrissy Wilkins' death. Kittner, the little Kittner kid. I don't want to, this ain't the time or place to perform a half-ass autopsy on a fish. And I'm not going to sit here and watch that little Kittner kid spill out all over the dock. And then the fucking mom comes along, slaps him in the fucking face. And then the mayor goes, it's not your fault, Brody. It's like, no. Isn't George Segal in 2012? I'm not familiar with who George Segal is. Let me take a gandy. George Segal. Yes. Yeah, this guy's one of the fucking... He's a guy that's singing on the boat. There's like a boat, like a pleasure liner fucking going around fucking Friday nights like this. These 2 guys play jazz. And the song, me and my dad actually like memorized the fucking song. It's like, it's been a blast, been a trip. No, been a blast, been a hip, been a hell of a trip. But it ain't the end of the wild. Oh man, fucking love that movie. And then at the end of the song, that fucking George Segal guy goes, "Oh yeah." And then the fucking the black dude who's like hasn't had a drink in fucking 20 years hears the news of the end of the world, and he's like, "Give me a double." And the bartender's like, "Frank," and he's just like, now, motherfucker. Oh, I love that actor too. I forget what his name is, but great actor. Both those old dudes were fucking great. Wow. I did aggressive vehicle training, and limousines really have outlandish fucking handling. Damn. What do you think of Mel Brooks giving us Spaceballs 2 at his age? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be. I gotta see it, obviously, but I just feel like it's gonna be like it's gonna be for people like I don't know what to say, dude. That's crazy. I think it will be his epic send off and return of Rick Moranis. I don't know. Is Bill Pullman still alive? Because if he's not in it, like John Candy ain't in it. Is the dude who was the fucking other, Colonel Sanders? Is Colonel Sanders still alive? Like, can they get those fucking guys in there? If they can do that, if they can get as many of the fucking OGs back as possible, then I think you got. Is Michael Winslow alive? The bleeps, the creeps, and the sweeps. You know how he does that bullshit. I first learned about Michael Winslow through Cheech and Chong Next Movie, when he's sitting in that welfare office and he's like fucking pretends he's like pretending that he's playing a harmonica, but he's just fucking around. And then obviously Police Academy. Police Academy is actually one of the I don't have many 80s comedies on DVD, but it's one of the ones that I do have. It's like, that's not in the alphabetical order yet, but great film. Oh, I see it. Police Academy right next to Pineapple Express. Oh, next to that movie Paul, which is a fucking movie about an alien that's being voiced by that fucking Seth MacFarlane or Seth Rogen. Police Academy. Hey, they should do a Revenge of the Nerds. I love Revenge of the Nerds. I think I might have that too. Maybe not. I love Revenge of the Nerds. Such a classic. Such a good flick. My favorite line in that movie is when Booger's like standing there, like just fucking like leaning on a post, smoking a cigarette. This guy comes along in a car or whatever. He goes, "What are you looking at?" And he goes, "I thought I was looking at my mother's douchebag, but that's in Ohio." That's one of my favorite fucking lines of all time. Isn't the black guy from Ice Pirates and Police? I don't know. It could be. I don't know which. I've never seen Ice Pirates. The one black dude that I'm thinking of is like the guy that's like the gay guy, because he was also in Karate Kid. I know he's been in a bunch of stuff, but I know him from Revenge of the Nerds. He's awesome. All those nerdy fucking assholes are cool in that movie. I like them all. Lamar, yeah. You know who I like is I think his name's Miguel Nunez. He's the guy from well, he's in Return of the Living Dead, and he's in the thing that I always think of when I think of that dude is Friday the 13th Part 5. He's the guy that like eats the fucking enchiladas and he gets the shits. And he fucks off into the bathroom and takes his shit, and his girl comes along, fucking around, and she's like, baby, baby. Friday the 13th 5 is my favorite Friday the 13th. I could give a fuck what anyone says. It's my favorite. God damn it, Junior. Shut the fuck up and eat your fucking slop. Come on. Ice Pirates, brother, please make it a priority. I'll do my damnedest in the good fight against dry rot and rust. I'm running this monkey farm now, Frankenstein, and I want to know what the fuck you're doing with our time. Or are you just back there jerking us around? Or jerking off, or whatever the fuck he says. Day of the Dead, classic. It's John Carradine, for fuck's sakes. Is that the guy that was Kung Fu, or is that I forget. It'll be your longest living memory for the rest of your days. Well, fuck. Space herpes? What the fuck is that? Is John Carradine Kung Fu, aka Bill from Kill Bill? And then he's got the brother that was on that fucking show, Even Stevens, which was a show that was out when I was a kid on like the Family Channel. It was like a kid, like a live action kid show. John Carradine is the old man David. Oh, so John Carradine, isn't he? He played Dracula, didn't he? I always call this out the one stream that some guy came in the stream after I was like combing my beard. He's like, "Why does the bald guy have a comb?" That was one of the fucking funniest moments ever. Like I said, Verno from fucking Stand By Me. What am I supposed to think of everything? I brought the comb. You brought a comb, you don't even have any hair. It's got hair down there. RoboCop. The fucked up thing is, like, I don't know if you guys are as fucked in the head as me when it comes to like movies and like the movies that you watched a million times, and you're like the movies that like, fucking front and back. You like thinking like I often with my wife, like I'll say something from a movie and like I know she won't know what it's from. And I'll like say it and then I'll say what it's from. She'll be like, I don't remember. And I'm like, I know, but if I don't say it, then it's fucking just gonna like I'm just gonna be like, fuck. If you got a reference, use the reference. Why not? John Carradine. Oh, I read that. Worst movie that you really enjoyed from 2025 so far? I haven't really watched many movies from this year, unless did Nosferatu come out in 2025? Because that's probably the last new movie I watched. I'd rather watch 2012. Yeah, I don't. New movies don't really do it for me, man. You know, the last movie that I watched was Heavy Metal, which is still in my fucking DVD player. I gotta go on the. I haven't really made a movie review in a minute. Last one was Dawn of the Dead, and that was in May. It was like almost a month ago. I did a movie review. I got a few movies that I could review. I probably will. I'm gonna try to like post like 2 videos a week if possible. Who knows? Not always gonna be the same days or times or anything like that. Basically, when I make the video, when it's done, boom, I upload it. 3 in the morning, fuck, it's up. You know, like again, I don't really like setting these strict fucking or these restrictions on myself, but you know, I think it's if I'm feeling it, then it's a good way to spread the knowledge, spread the love. You know what I mean? Because we all sort of love the same kind of shit. Predator Killer of Killers was dope. Is that the one? Is that the samurai one? I know there's a new one, a samurai or some shit. Heavy Metal is just an all time. Oh, it's fantastic. John Carradine has over 200 movies, from Grapes of Wrath to Vampire Hookers to The Howling. Oh, I got The Howling. I got The Howling and The Howling 2. Yeah. I actually scored that copy of The Howling 2, I think, at a thrift store. You know, I've scored some good ones at thrift stores, man. I think I might even got my Phantasm from a thrift store. Like I got Phantasm 1 and 2, and I have all of them on a bootleg, but I have store-bought copies of 1 and 2, you know. The store-bought copies, like obviously I don't want bootlegs, but like some of this shit, especially stuff off YouTube, it's like the only way you're gonna get it, you know. Make a DVD-R of it, and at least you have it. There's a lot of good documentaries, and you know, like for instance, I'm obsessed with Mobius right now, the comic book artist Mobius, and there's like a slew of interviews and documentaries of him on YouTube. You fucking take him off, put him on a disc, write Mobius on it, and it's all the Mobius shit you could go for. Same with like Jeff Darrow, like all those cartoonist kayfabe videos that they did with Jeff Darrow, like what a treat. Like, and Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, and like all those shoot interviews, Tim Vigil, Pete Bagg, David Cho, so many artists that I fucking love, dude. Rest in peace to Ed Piskor, and you know, all the power to Jim Rugg. I'm actually going to Pittsburgh in September to the Eddie P Comic Con. So if you're going there, be like, yo, what's good, dude? Because I'm going there because I want to take my comics, like all the Filthy Ralph comics, all that stuff, and I want to like give him the gym, be like, you know, and get some stuff off him and shit, obviously, but like just like let him know, be, you know, and be like, dude, like it wasn't like it wasn't a fluke what they did, you know. They didn't just get on there like maybe they felt like they were just getting on there and talking about the shit they love, but like they influenced so many, like some of the most influential people in that medium of like my era, of like my time, you know, because like those guys understood it, and like they did a service making all those videos. I don't want to like sit here and kiss their ass and all that stuff, because I don't want to like hold another person up higher than myself. You know, you should always put yourself forward above everything, you know. But I'm really influenced by those dudes. Big inspirations. Phantasm is sorely underutilized. Even Hellraiser got a respectable reboot. You know what? I've only seen the first like 4 or 5 Hellraiser films. If there was one property you could see like a studio like Blumhouse to do a solid reboot of a sequel, which would it be? Anything from cartoons, comics, or cinema? I would love to see. Hmm, that's hard. Like fuck. Yeah, that's fuck. That's really hard, man. It'd be cool to see an I think it'd be cool to see Now I'm just looking at the fucking wall trying to pick a movie off the wall. But like, there's definitely some stuff that I think would like has potential. Like, if they remade Cannibal Holocaust, but like didn't like pussify it and make it like fucking Green Inferno with like their shitty characters and shit. But you know, I love Cannibal Holocaust and I talk about it all the time. Um, and I'm not afraid to say that I like that movie. I know it has horrible fucking scenes where a fucking and I've said this before, dude. I work at a slaughterhouse. Okay, I can tell you right now that that turtle died easier than shit that dies at a slaughterhouse. Okay, and they ate it right away. They were eating the fucking thing. It's not like they like killed it and then like just fucking had the body sitting there while they figured out what to do next. You know, Puppet Master would be dope. House would be cool. Even Ghoulies. I love House. I don't think you should fuck with House because House 1 and 2, like those are both solid. Ghoulies I fuck with too. But like those like that era is like I'm rusty. Like my knowledge of films from say like Full Moon and well I guess mostly just Full Moon, but like I know they did tons of flicks like those fucking Demonic Toys and Killer Bong and the Gingerbread Man and all that fucking shit, but those types of movies don't really do anything for me. So I never really gave them a chance. I'm sure if I watched them that I would get enjoyment. I'd probably laugh my ass off, especially at the Ginger Dead Man because it's fucking what's his name? Oh, what's his name? That's the Ginger Dead fucking man. Gary Busey, Mr. Joshua from Lethal Weapon, dude. Mr. Joshua. My name's Mr. Joshua. Lethal Weapon. I know that fifth one is on its way. Like I couldn't be more stoked. When that shit comes to theater, dude, me and my brother, we're going to see that shit, dude. I'm telling, we're gonna marathon the first four first, and then like over, like I'll be like, yo, come over on a fucking Saturday, and we'll just get like a pizza and some fucking chicken and watch all the Lethal Weapons. People would be all up everyone's ass about animal stuff if they tried to remake Cannibal Holocaust. Yeah. You know what's fucked? Shout out to the cartoonist Johnny Ryan. He was just in TCAF. I didn't go to TCAF, but I plan on going next year. I plan on tabling next year if possible. I'm gonna definitely apply. Um, he made a comic. I forget the title of it, but the title has the word retarded in it. And he shared a photo of it at some shop, but there was like a piece of green masking tape over where it says retarded. But the thing about that that's hilarious is on the same cover, there's a bucket of dildos and it says like mom's dirty dildos. So it's like there's no problem having a bucket of mom's dirty dildos, but the word retarded, it's like I just don't get it. I understand that words uh can cause all sorts of different emotions in different people for different reasons, but uh, I would never, I would never call someone retarded that was like, that they were like, if I called my friend retarded, it was because he was doing something stupid that he shouldn't have been doing, not because he was a retard or, you know what I mean? Like that, like retarded. Because that's like the actual word that I don't know, like mentally challenged is the word, I guess, that they want you to fucking use. It's crazy. But like I said, like I've said shit on these streams like where I said fucking I don't think I ever said anything fucking too insane, but anything I ever said, if you watched it, you knew what the fuck I meant. I wasn't trying to hurt anyone's feelings. And it's fucked up that I even got to say that, you know what I mean? But it's the truth. But I think anybody that watches my videos knows like, hey, this guy is he's a real wise guy, this guy, you know. What the fuck? Me and my wife went to the reserve today, got dope, and then we went and we got more shit for our garden. I got like 16 pepper plants. I have 5 red pepper plants, 5 green pepper plants, 4 chili pepper plants, and then 2 habanero pepper plants. And then I have like 18 tomato plants, some cucumbers, and a bunch of herbs and shit. We're going hardcore this year. We're still gonna get more because we want to can a bunch of stuff, right? I wanted to see Dragged Across the Concrete. Had Mel and Vince Vaughn. I like that writer director. Want to haven't had a falling out. Have you guys ever seen a movie called Get the Gringo with Mel Gibson? Get the Gringo. It's about him being like a bank robber, and he ends up fucking like right at the border, like after this robbery, and then he ends up going to a prison in Mexico, and like it's funny because like the prison is like not the type of prison you would think. He's like described it as like the world's shittiest mall or something like that. It's an awesome movie. That's a great film, and so is that movie. I forget the title of it, but Vince Vaughn is in it, and he plays this guy that his wife's fucking around on him, and he ends up going to prison. Uh, I forget the name of it, but he's bald in the film. Like that is a great flick, dude. You should check it out if you can. If you can, you should check it out. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Smoke a little hash and a little joint at the same time. Brand new. BC fucking who knows what. These fucking vape pens, dude, like that's as close as I get to buying government weed. It's bullshit. Weed in Ontario legally purchased at these fucking dispensaries. It's trash dope. Go to the reserve. Find a reserve near you where they're selling pot. Brawl in Cell Block 99. That's the title. Don Johnson's great in that too. Ditto Udo Kier. Dude, I fuck with that. I fuck with that movie heavy. It's great. Vince Vaughn, like he's such a fucking to me, like when I think of him, I think of Dodgeball. I love Dodgeball. Watched it a million times growing up. Peter LaFleur. Average Joe's Gym. Average Joe's. Average Joe's. Oh man. And then Ben Stiller in that film, dude, he like you can't no one can really talk shit about Ben Stiller because he's been in too much good shit. Or like the shit that he's in is funny, is mad funny. Like Tropic Thunder, like alone, Something About Mary, those Meet the Fuckers films, Meet the Parents, and all that shit. He's great, man. He's great. Like I said, Tropic Thunder to me is one of like the most funny movies I've ever seen. Especially that scene when that scene when they're in like a meeting and the guy four leaf or whatever that is this veteran that they're basing this story on. He's in the background, and the producer on the TV, who's played by Tom Cruise, he's like, "We owe you a service. Now shut the fuck up!" Like I just, it's silly, but I like that shit. Permanent Midnight with Stiller is nice. Never seen that. Never seen that. Didn't he direct Cable Guy? That movie Cable Guy. That movie Cable Guy reminds me of my grandma. Because I remember that was one of the movies she had. She didn't have like a lot of movies, but Cable Guy was one of them. Twister was another. And like my brother always wanted to watch Twister. Or he watched Twister so many times that like whenever there was a tornado warning or anything like that, like not like we had them often or ever really, but the odd time he'd like be shitting his pants thinking it was going to be an F5. What's an F5? If you've watched the Opie and Anthony show, when they talk, there's a segment where they talk about Twister. It will make you piss your pants. Honestly. That's one thing, dude. I love listening to motherfuckers talk about movies that are like actual, like you can tell they've seen the movie. Like when they tear apart Independence Day, Patrice O'Neal tears apart Independence Day with Jim Norton. It's fucking, you know, And like it's when they talk about it, like it's almost like they're describing how I feel because they're like, whenever Independence Day is on, like you watch it, and Kumi is like, yes, yes, I fucking love it or whatever, and like I know the feeling. It's such a shit fest, but it's so fucking ingrained in my like youth. Like it's just one of those movies that was always on. Independence Day was always on back in the day, and same with like the Mummy. Like all those like movies. Like there was good movies. Like I know people talk shit about those Brendan Fraser films, those Mummy movies and stuff. But I love them. I love Brendan Fraser. And like even now, like look like Hayden Christensen, the guy that played Anakin in those Star Wars prequels, got all that hate back then, and now he's just getting nothing but love. And people are like, "Dude, we love you," And like I've seen him like being very generous with people and stuff like that on who knows if they're stage videos, but he seems like a pretty genuine dude. And he made an attempt at like being in like some other types of movies. He was in a great flick called Vanishing on 7th Street. Like that is a movie that I highly recommend. Vanishing on 7th Street. I think I had it, but I think I gave it to my dad. I'm gonna be a dad. Yeah, I think I gave it to him because I was like, you know what? I like this movie. I'm probably never gonna watch it again, but I want old man to see it. Yeah, I don't think I kept it. Nothing like a nice drink. So what else you guys watching, man? Lay it out. Call me out. That's fucking crack rock. It's like Rodney said from the movie Clockers. He said, if God made anything better than crack cocaine, he kept that shit for himself. You know what's crazy is I haven't watched Clockers in a long time. And that's one of my favorite films. Bing, 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 Ricochet Rabbit. John Toretto, Harvey Keitel is like a pair of partners. These cops that are partners. Fucking awesome. That is probably my favorite Spike Lee joint. Probably. I really love Do the Right Thing. I think that's a great flick. I don't like dislike Spike Lee. I just think that he he's always like hating on Tarantino and shit. I think Tarantino is way better of a filmmaker than Spike Lee, but you know, it's because he says the N word and all that stuff in his films and shit. But like, I don't know. People can say whatever the fuck they want. Was rewatching Ghosts of Mars. That movie's pure fun for me, dude. I haven't watched that movie in so fucking long. I have it on tape, or maybe I have it on DVD. I don't know, but it's been a while since I saw it. Ice Cube's in that flick, isn't he? Is Ice Cube in that flick? The Cube of Ice. You know what? This is like I don't usually bring up like the statistics of this channel or anything like that, but like probably like in a week, I think like 10 people unsubscribed, and I was like, oh fuck, right? I was like, that's kind of fucking strange. But then it people just subscribed again. I don't know. It's weird. Like it's if you pay attention to the shit, like it makes no fucking sense. You know. That's why it's like these motherfuckers that are like making money off this. Like no wonder like they go insane and just mental. You know, because you have to like fucking keep making videos and like you have to fucking like I don't know. I just feel like that would be a nightmare. Ice Cube, Jason Statham, Natasha Hensbridge, Pam Grier, dope. Pam Grier's dope. My wife thinks that I love Pam Grier. She's like, you want to bang Pam Grier and all this. Like whenever like the movie Coffee or anything like that like comes up, she always gives me a look. I'm like, what? Jason Statham, dude. He was in some good flicks too. Like he like Snatch is great. Speaking of sort of like Tarantino-ish, sort of like a British Tarantino-y film. That's how I always felt. Same with that other flick, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Like that is a fucking awesome movie. Awesome. I like that one little greasy guy, like the one guy. He's like, I'm a geezer. He's like, are these guys gonna fuck with you? He's like, are you kidding me? I'm a geezer. He's a geezer. Crank film. Yeah, I got those Crank films. The Transporter films. Pretty crazy. That Meg film. He was in that fucking giant shark film. And then if that wasn't enough, they made a sequel. It's like Megger or whatever. Meg or Meg. No, Die Meg Megger. I don't fucking know. Like, what do you like with Sharknado? Like, where do they get these titles? Oh my god. What else is a good fucking shitty film? I don't know. There's a lot. Like, this might be blasphemy to some, but I think those sleepaway camps, they're kind of eh. I've seen the first three. If there's any more than that, I have not seen them. It's crazy. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, so I need to get my hands on some of that tape that's for like masking shit off. Like apparently like you don't want masking tape, you want archival or drafting tape or some shit. I think I'll have to like rewatch the video that I watched, but because this comic that I want to do is like it's gonna require. I don't know if I'm gonna get an airbrush because they have some for an experiment like some cheap airbrushes on Amazon and stuff. I could get like everything. I could get like it all set up and just give it a whirl, but it would require like taping some stuff off. So like the tape and one of those erasers that's sort of like like a lead holder pencil. I think I got one. Oh, that's not one. Here's one. So like this is like they call it like a lead holder, right? Where you put like a piece of lead in there. Uh they have ones that are like skinny like that, but it's an eraser. I want to get something like that because I feel like it would be easier than because I've been using these kneaded erasers and like yeah, they work great and everything, but it's a nightmare to sometimes you erase the whole fucking like you're just trying to erase a little thing and yet you move the eraser and like half your shit's gone. You're like, oh fuck. And there's no control fucking Z or whatever to erase your fuck ups. Oh fuck. Okay, listen. So for fans of the channel, there was a video that I did that it was like a 5-minute video of me talking about Batman and Robin from 1997 because I watched Batman Forever and Batman and Robin last week and I was like, "Oh my god, like I need to just talk about how fucked up this movie cuz I was fucked when I watched it. I was so stoned." And just everything that like George Clooney said like had me roaring and I was like when I was watching it and he was being like, like that's why Superman works alone. I was like thinking like the next shot was going to be him pulling out a revolver and saying like I got 6 friends that are going to run faster than you, Mr. Freeze. Dude, the part that got me was right in the beginning when Batman fucking they load up in the Batmobile and the Bat bike and all of a sudden a little screen comes on in the Batmobile and it's Commissioner Gordon. He's like, Batman, there's a new bad guy out. His name's Mr. Freeze. And then like cut to the fucking museum where Mr. Freeze is going ape shit, freezing all the security. And Batman busts in the fucking window and he looks at him and he goes, hi Freeze, I'm Batman. It's like, what the fuck am I watching? Oh man. And then dude, when I was watching that Batman Forever, I think Batman Forever uh is a better film, but I had more fun with Batman and Robin just because of all the fucking cheesy bullshit. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Like, cause I know all these quotes. Like, I used to watch that movie a lot when I was a kid. So, like, I knew all these, the hockey team from hell. I always thought that was cool because he's like saying hell, the hockey team from hell. So I knew about the hockey team from hell from Batman and Robin. I knew about Highway to Hell from my dad. And I knew about fucking Clockwork Orange the same goddamn year, basically. Crazy. But yeah, I deleted the video because it was just dumb. It was just me basically like I was recounting a film I watched like 2 nights previous to it, and I was fucked out of my mind when I watched the movie, and I was fucking baked when I was trying to make the video. So I was like, no. That's why I uploaded that video of me doing that skull and sword piece. I did that in like 2021. Like when I watch all those fucking videos from like borderline 5 years ago, so much fatter, dude. Tell me that SPX. Has anyone been to SPX in the chat? Because that's happening the week of the Ed Piskor Comic Con. In like I think it's in Bethesda, Maryland, but it's like 8 hours away. Pittsburgh's like 6, Baltimore's like 8. I'm like, fuck. I was like, oh, we could leave on Friday, go to the fucking go straight to Baltimore, and then fucking go to SPX for Saturday, and then drive to Pittsburgh Saturday night, stay there, wake up Sunday, go to the Piskor thing, and then fuck off. I gotta figure it out because I have the Friday booked off. That way, or maybe it's the Monday I booked off. I don't remember exactly. No, it must have been the fucking Friday. Yeah. Either way, it's gonna be dope. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a new what I call Raise the Dead zine again. Raise the Dead is basically like a collection of sketchbook stuff. I've done 7 of them so far. Like for instance, this is number 4. Acrylic painting, but it's just got like a bunch of drawings. This is like from 2023, so it's pretty old. Well, it's not old, but I mean like it's these are older drawings, I should say. I could have swore. Yeah, both of these, I always point this out, but both of these skull and crossbone paintings, this one was an actual acrylic painting. The top one was just pens and shit, but both of them I did on mushrooms at different mushroom trips, so I wanted to put those like that. These were all a bunch of sketch cards I did. I scanned them. I actually still got most of them. Sketch cards are fun. This was fun. Yeah. SPX is a film and or music fest. I forget. SPX is Small Press Expo, so it's like they specialize in like this kind of stuff, and like I don't know if you guys know, but I make comic books. And my most recent effort, other than High as a Fly, like this is like the thing that I'm most like stoked on, is Vomit Cough, and it's basically like Cheech and Chong meets Evil Dead, done in my Filthy Ralph style that people either fuck with or don't. This is a 36-page comic. It's not like a graphic novel, but I had a lot of fun making this, dude. It took me like 50 days to make. It's an awesome page. Yeah. One thing about this that I took from this, like in this comic, there's this hash pipe. You can see this demon like holding it. That's been in every comic I've made since then. So I've made High as a Fly, which it's in. I made the Beavis and Butthead comic, which it's in. And this new this new comic, it's already in. So I got 10 comics now, dude. It's crazy to fucking think of. Some motherfuckers have thousands, hundreds, whatever, but personally, man, it's like these ones are like it's like when you're cutting your teeth, like figuring it out, you know? Because like when I look at my first comic and then compare it to like my newest one, it's like there's no comparison, you know? And like that's one thing that I want to make a video talking about this. Like, don't compare your art to other people, only compare your art to your older art, you know? Because then you can be like, damn, like look what you've done. You know, because there's a lot of people you can watch their whole fucking progression on Instagram, on YouTube, whatever. Go back, watch videos from 10 years ago, watch videos now. It's like, holy fuck. You know, talk about, you got to put in the time, you got to practice. You know, you can't just like fucking snap your fingers and make a comic. Like this guy was saying to me recently, he's like, "Oh, you're good at drawing," and I was like, "Thanks." And I think he first accused me of coloring. He's like, "Are you coloring?" Because I was like sketching on something, and I was like, "No." Or I think I just said yeah, because I was like, I don't really want to be like, yeah, like I didn't want to talk or whatever. But then I was drawing the outline of this, and he was like, "You're really fucking good at drawing." I was like, "Thanks, dude." I was like, "Thank you." That happened to me at work before, also. Like when I was working the fucking construction site doing security, people like all the like the contractor dudes would come in and we'd shoot the shit. But a lot of times I'd bring like a sketch pad with me, right? Because there's fucking 12-hour shifts of like six of them, like you had like six of them, like nothing was gonna happen. 6 hours of just like sitting around. So like you're drawing and shit. But I had drawn the Lemmy piece that I did years ago. I did a Lemmy piece and an Aussie piece. And I was in the middle of drawing the Lemmy piece, and he was like, "Are you drawing that right now?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's fucking insane." And I was like, "Thank you, dude." I was like, "I appreciate that." Because like there's certain like times when I look at my art, when I look at the zines and my sketchbooks and stuff, I'm like, okay, that's when that sort of like plateau ended and a new one began, or like you started to go up a bit, because there was that VHS tape that I did where it was like dripping and all that stuff. It was sort of like a monster VHS tape. Like that sort of started a new era of me drawing. And then Rodney Head, the graffiti thing was another era. But when I started to do the like the stippling bullshit, like I think that's like another uh it's hard to describe, but like then I look at the Clockwork Orange paintings. I did like these 4 Clockwork Orange paintings. They're like 5.5 by 8.5. They're small, but like they're fucking awesome. I love them. My wife's always like, those are the ones that I like think was like a change, you know what I mean? Like a new sort of whatever you want to call it. Um Leveling up, whatever, who knows, putting in the work, but anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna fucking call it, because it's been an hour and a half, and I'm fucking talked out, dude. I'm talked the fuck out. So we'll be back again for some videos and some shit. So um we're waiting to make some mobiles lately. Wanting to make some mobiles. Some mobiles. What the fuck's a mobile? I don't know. Reveal what a mobile is before I split, or else I won't be able to sleep at night. Mobiles. Should I look it up? Like fucking mobiles is like a fucking thing. It's a brand of Mephisto known for its focus on comfort and ergonomic design and footwear. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but they hang from the ceiling on wires or sculptures. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen some of that shit before. Not shit, but I've seen that stuff before. It's cool. Very cool. But yeah, adios, fuckers.